Sorry about that. How you doing? It's Michael Heppel here, talking to Michael Wachelhofer, manager and guitarist for Cornerstone, a rock band from Austria. Now, in July of 2019, on the 23rd to be exact, Cornerstone played at Trillions Bar in Newcastle as part of a European tour. So this is actually our second interview, and today we are quite simply going to pick up from where we left off. Now, just before we get started, I have got a copy of the first interview on my Facebook page. That's Michael Heppel on the radio. I'd probably listen to that one first and then come back to get the full story here. So, Michael, welcome along.
Yeah, hello, Michael. Great talking to you again. And I really like the way you spelled my shore name. Wachelhofer. That's right. I really like that.
So, how did the end of 2019 go for you then, that tour? How did that go?
2019, summer times we did some concerts in France and of course in the UK and in Scotland. This was very, very enjoyable for all of us. And the end of 2019, we played a few gigs just in Austria and in Germany as well, and just near area, and ended up the tour then. And it was quite a successful tour, I have to say.
Yeah.
Quite successful.
It was as well.
It was, yeah.
Good I couldn't come to see you that night in Trillions. I think I was trying to work this out the other day. I think I was going to a Newcastle match that night as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to 2020. Did you get many performances in January and early February?
No, the problem was that we had a band rest or a band vacation in January and February. This is every year in January, February, we do nothing. This is our vacation, more or less. And we started playing in March. We did, I guess, 2 or 3 concerts. Yeah, and then everything locked down. So it wasn't possible to do some gigs anymore. I guess we started playing in June. Yeah, it was June. I guess beginning of June, we did the first gigs again, but all gigs just in Austria, and it was allowed to play there because Germany closed its borders, so it was very, very difficult to leave the country and so on. And so we more or less concentrated on a home front and did some gigs here. That was very enjoyable as well. So we also love to play in Austria.
Yeah. Just when you mentioned the lockdown there, then how did the coronavirus pandemic affect you and your fellow bandmates?
Yeah, the problem was that especially Alina, she makes her living out of music, and this was very, very hard for her to. It wasn't allowed to do anything, and she had no income. She started to work on a regular job, and she had, because she has to pay her rent. With Steve, it wasn't a big problem because Steve has started a job as well and get his income from there. But it wasn't allowed to do anything for music wise, so we couldn't do any concerts. The only thing we could do was some streaming concerts, and I guess we did 2 or so. It was some pre-recorded stuff we did for online TV show we called Quarantine TV. That was quite great. We did some acoustic sets of our songs, 4 or 5 songs. It was quite funny, and but most of the time, we wrote new songs, new tunes, and we did our homeworks.
So just out of curiosity, Michael, what is the situation out there in Austria in regards to the situation, the pandemic now? What's the restrictions of what you can and can't do?
The issue is that we I guess probably next week we'll have another lockdown. At the moment, it is allowed to do, more or less anything, but you have to wear a face mask when you are in the tramway or in the public transport and a train. And concert-wise, it's allowed to play up to 100 people.
Right.
And they have registered seats and so on. But I would say from next week on, we have to stay at home completely, probably. So we have too many infections, and I guess 6,000. Yesterday was 6,000 new infections with COVID-19, and that's much. That's a relatively high number for such a small country like Austria. So we have, I guess, 8 million or so inhabitants here. So that's quite, too many new infections.
Yeah, it's very.
And so the government. Yeah, the government has to react and they have to do something, and they will do. So I watched the press bulletin at lunchtime. It was quite after lunchtime, and they told us that they have to probably have to do a new lockdown.
Oh, that's not good news. I mean, to be fair, we're in a similar situation. Yeah, I think obviously just before I started the recording, I was saying that we're in this tier system where. Here in the UK, where if you're in tier 1, you're okay, but they are watching you. More so if you're in tier 2, though, where obviously everything closes by 10 o'clock. And then, like in tier 3, in the likes of, say, Liverpool, and you're literally closed down. But obviously Wales, they're their own government, although they are part of the UK, the Welsh have locked down completely. They've called it a firebreaker, I think. So they're in full lockdown now, and I think they've got another week to go on that. But yeah, it's been really bad on the west. The east side, though, not as bad, but the Midlands pretty rough now. Nottingham, I think, is the latest place they've just went into tier 3. Anyhow, away from politics and things like that. So your last album was Reflections. That's right, yeah?
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
And I think that's the last time we spoke, because that one had just come out in July 2019. That was the one you were touring, wasn't it? So what's new? What have you got new? Have you got any more new music out? And if so, what are them songs about?
We have, of course, we used the lockdown to write new music, and we have probably we will release a new single in, I guess it will be March, April, around that time. We have 2 new songs so far. One of them is called Private Eyes, so it's about the current situation with COVID-19 and watch what the people will do and so on. So there's a bit of a different topic as usual from Cornerstone. It's quite interesting song. And the other song is quite a radio-friendly pop single and a pop rock single. Let's call it this way. So we'll not try to imitate Britney Spears. So no worries about that. No, it's a pop rock. So it's kind of Bon Jovi or Nelly Furtado. There's this direction, I guess, and it will be quite radio friendly, but it doesn't have a title at the moment because we're in the process of writing the lyrics and working on the fine tuning of the song. And as mentioned before, they'll probably release it in March, April, around that time. But I'm quite sure I will send you over a copy.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, mate.
No worries, no worries.
So you broke some huge news the other day, and that was Alina Peter, who was your vocalist, has decided to part ways with Cornerstone. I just would like to add my best wishes to her for the future, but where does Cornerstone go from here?
I have to say, Alina decided to leave the band from one day to another in the middle of the current tour. She said because of personal differences. The band has respected that and said, okay, we're fine with that. And we have to do some more gigs this year, I guess 5 or 6 gigs. If we could play them, that's quite a bit unsure because of COVID-19, but if we could play them, we have another singer on board. She's a befriended singer. Her name is Doris Riedler, and she did some rock soul band projects in the past. She was part of musical productions like Elizabeth, which is a Austrian musical, Little Shop of Horror, and so on. And it's quite an honor to play with such a person too. And she's just great, and she will do the rest of the concerts to the end of the tour. And for next year, we'll see what will happen. But we are planning to do concerts again in May, June, when this whole COVID-19 situation is over, and hopefully history. And we'll release a new album as well next year.
Oh,
and no, of course. And we were really looking forward for that. And we'll plan to do a Greece tour, for Greece, because we were booked as a headliner this July in Greece. It was a place near Athens. But of course, because of the corona situation, it wasn't possible to leave the country, so we had to cancel the whole tour. Yeah, and next year in 2022, we'll probably come back to the UK, hopefully come back to the UK, but I also have to say we have to await Brexit and these things, and we have to check out what visas do we get, do we need visas and so on. So there's no experience with that at the moment, and we have decided to wait a bit. But of course, we love to come back to the UK.
Yeah, you've literally just answered my next question. I was going to say, have you got any plans to come back to the UK, more so to Newcastle? But I will say one thing: it'd be great to have you back up here, and especially to meet up and do another interview as well. What are the plans for Cornerstone's future then?
Yeah, as I said before, next spring we'll release the single, and later that year the new album will be released, hopefully. And in the middle of the year we'll start to do live concert as well. Probably the main part of the concerts will happen in Austria, because it's a bit unsure. The whole situation with COVID-19 and so on, and the risk to plan a tour abroad and then we have to cancel it because there's a lockdown in this country and so on. It's a bit too risky for us, and so we will probably go abroad in 2022. And then we will see what will happen after that. So our plans are for the next 2 years, and then we will see, I have to say.
I don't blame you for holding off one bit. Have you got any social media links that you'd like to mention as well, where people can hear?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah, we have a website. It's cornerstone.co.at. So take care, it's AT, not the usual UK at the end. And we'll find us everywhere. So we're on Facebook. It's called Facebook/Cornerstone Austria. Instagram. It's also Cornerstone Austria. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. On YouTube, it's quite easy. It's just Cornerstone, and we're also on SoundCloud and so on. So just check out Cornerstone and check out this nice blue lighted picture with Steve in the front, and that's us. That's Cornerstone.
Not gonna lie, Nothing to Lose. If ever I'm having a bit of a rough day, that song is the one I go to. Nothing to Lose just wakes us up straight away. If ever I'm a bit tired one afternoon or anything like that, Nothing to Lose is the tune. I'm telling you that now. That's on the Reflections album, and it's on YouTube. It's a great song. Last Night as well, very upbeat Saturday night party song. I just love that album. It's such a good album.
Thanks. That's great to hear. You're welcome, man, and thanks a lot. Well, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
Is there anything else that I haven't mentioned, Michael, that you would like to mention?
Oh no, we've talked about the most important topics, and the main thing for us, even with the new singer, Cornerstone will go forward, will go on as a band, and they will not change much, I would say. So Yeah, and that's the main part. And I'm happy to talk to you, and we'll be also happy to talk to you in 1 or 2 years when we're back in Newcastle.
Indeed, mate,
Hopefully.
indeed. And I hope to come to one of your gigs as well. I was gutted that night when you were playing at Trillions, and I double booked myself. But never mind, these things happen. Anyhow, Michael, it's been great to talk to you. Absolute pleasure. You take care, and hopefully, if you do go back into lockdown, it isn't for long.
Yeah, I will also hope so. So all the best to you, Michael, to your listeners, and for sure we'll see each other again.
You take care as well, Michael. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Cheers. Bye.